Well, cheers. If you can hear a real big fish doing Mr. Grinch, of course I'm on the rise. How the heck are you? So here's my hypocrisy in a bottle. Here you see my Christmas tree flashing in the background there. Although actually, if you look through what I've said in the past, I never said I wasn't going to buy it. I said I wouldn't stand in line for an overpriced, overhyped beer, and I didn't. I happened to walk into a beer store this evening, and he says, "Hey Tom, I have a few of these left. They're $11.98 a bottle. You want one?" I said, "Oh sure, for $11.98 I'll pick it up." It probably still is overpriced, even though I haven't had a drink yet. Because it isn't. It is in a 16.9 ounce bottle here, I believe it is, but it is at 15.2%. And the fact that, well, when you look at CBS, is at between 25 to 30 this year, which is absolutely insane. In 2012, I paid $20 for a 4-pack of KBS. And I thought that was crazy, but now, I mean, everything's KBS, CBS has gotten way out of hand, and this one has too in a lot of places. I've seen people say they're paying $20, $25 a bottle for it. There's no way in hell I'd pay that, but at 12, what the hell? So let's see, before I get into it, let's see what they have to say about it. As you see my Christmas tree in the background there. The original bourbon barrel aged stout, and I gotta tell you, I mean, before this was AB InBev owned, I bought this every year. Before there was hype, I mean, I'd go to a liquor store in town, I could buy 2 or 3 years past, and they'd still be there from the year before this hype started. So that's really my issue, is the hype, and that the beer just hasn't been as good as it was before it was AB InBev owned, and that's not my opinion, that's fact. Intense aromas of charred oak, vanilla, caramel, and smoke is what they tell you. There's a government warning here. 10 July 18. Oh, I was thinking that was the best, but I didn't know. I guess that was when it was bottled, 10 July of 18. Even though it's just coming out now. So here we go. So let's see what she's got, shall we? I'll put the bottle right there for you to see. You're paying for the pretty bottle mostly, to be honest with you, but oh gosh, well, it does have a nice nose, I will say that. Develops in the bottle up to 5 years. Original bourbon barrel stout, huh? And holy crap! Well, I'm not sure how I managed that, but just managed to spill it all over myself as I was trying to read the bottle. Sometimes stuff happens. Anyway, I'm not sure I did that. I've been having some muscle control issues lately. I haven't had too much drink tonight. This is the second beer of the evening, but by golly, wow, sometimes things just happen. I'm not going to get excited about it, though. I'm not going to cry over a little spilled beer. Although for what I paid for it. I'm not even sure how that happened, to be honest with you. My hand just twitched and everything went crazy. I've been having a lot of trouble lately. I've been having serious balance issues. I don't know. I got a doctor looking into it. I don't know what's happening to me. I think I'm falling apart. So let me go back. I went back just to read a little more in the bottle, and by golly, everything went haywire, man. One hand twitch, the other hand twitch. Anyway, Dutch aromas of charred oak, vanilla, caramel, and smoke. Okay, let's try this again one more time with feeling. And take two. Vanilla, caramel, and smoke. Yeah, you do feel a lot of char. I don't know. I guess smoke, but it really is. It's more like a heavy char. You do feel some vanilla. Yeah, I'll say caramel. It's more caramel than toffee. There's also some anise notes, though, that they don't mention, and it's in a great big way. Sometimes I think it's just me, but This time I'm sure it's not, because I mean, it's there in a great big way. It's like smoked licorice like nose. That's kind of what it smells like, man. Oh, wow, okay. So, I don't know, I think it was 15. I think I skipped 16. I think I got a years mixed up. I was talking to a friend earlier. 15 I thought was god awful. It was way too cloyingly sweet. I had last year, and I thought it was okay. But again, I mean, I got it for a good price, and I didn't have to stand in line. And so the folks that stand in line 4 or 5, 6 hours, that bite into the hype. See, that's the issue. That's everything that's wrong with craft beer, the folks that do that. If you're standing in line 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 hours, if you're camping overnight, you are what's wrong with craft beer. You are driving the hype up. Every beer that you're standing in line for would be readily available to everybody if you weren't standing in line. If you were smart enough not to stand in a damn line, we could all get the beer for a decent price and just walk up to the counter and buy it. As I did with this. There were many people that stood in line for hours to buy the same beer that I just walked in and bought for the same damn price. That's the point I'm trying to make here, people. Anyways, okay, that's the soapbox. Now I'm just going to concentrate on the flavors of the beer. It's interesting. Yeah, I haven't got to if I like it or hate it yet. I'm getting a lot of chocolate notes, which I don't mention here. They say intense aromas of charred oak, vanilla, and caramel and smoke. But yeah, the 15 that I had, I remember just that sweetness just lingered on in your throat, man. It just became, by the time I got through half a bottle, I thought, man, I can't drink anymore of this. This has got awful. This one doesn't do that, and the finish is very interesting. You do feel some of that char and smoke that they talk about running all the way through it. But it dries up nicely. It really does. You do feel some of that oak. I was hoping to get more barrel spice, and I like the bourbon barrel stouts. For me, the ones that will impart more bourbon barrel spice. So you do get a little bit in here, but not as much as I particularly like. But it is oaked enough to really clean her up at the end, because it is rather sweet initially. But it isn't near as sweet as that 2015 that was just god awful that I talked about earlier. This one really isn't bad, I gotta say. I mean, I may have to add an addendum after I get to the end of the bottle, but the honest truth is, it is enjoyable. For $12 for a 16.9 ounce, I don't know, what would it cost for a 22 ounce? You do the math on that. The fact that I got this for 12, I guess, I don't know, what about just shy of 6 ounces more, is in that BCBS for 20, it was 27 at the store I looked at, but looking at various posts across the board, it seems to be going between 25 and 30. I know I paid 20 for it last year and thought it was okay, but it certainly wasn't worth 20. And there's no way in hell I was ever going to pay 28 for it. It's $27.99. And I wouldn't have bought this if it was any more. If it was $15.99, I'd have passed. If it was $13.99, I most likely would have passed. But $11.99, yeah, what the hell. For $12, I'll give her a shot. And I remember the 2015 model. The more I drank it, the more I disliked it. I'm kind of going the opposite direction with this. I wasn't sure at first with some of the aromas and flavors. But the more I let this sit, the more I sit and sip, the more I'm kind of enjoying it, as much as I hate to admit that. I don't necessarily boycott Goose Island. I've done several videos throughout the year, or other AB InBev. But what bothers me is, again, is the hype when people are standing in line for 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 hours for a beer that should be readily accessible. And for me, it was. But there were people that stood in line over the weekend, I think it was this past Friday or Saturday, they had the big deal at the same store that I just walked in and bought it right off the damn shelf. They didn't get a better bargain and I didn't have to draw tickets. I just walked in and bought the damn beer. And that's the point I'm trying to make is you morons that are standing in line for these overpriced, overhyped beers, if you didn't do that, everybody would be able to buy it at a reasonable price and not have to stand in line for it. You people are driving up the hype for no other reason than you want people to notice you standing in line. You want to be able to post online, look at me, I'm special, I got it. You're not special because I got the same damn beer you did and I didn't have to stand in line for it. Anyways, I digress. However, okay, let's get to the buy again part. For $12 a bottle, yes. If I were to see this next year at the same price, if I could just walk in a beer store, pick it up, yes, I would buy it again. Will I buy it again this season? To be honest, they've got more bottles at that same store. I may. For $12 for the bottle, yes, it really is that good. The guy that I was talking to, the beer guy, I won't mention his name or the store, and he is rather knowledgeable, but he thought it felt a little boozy to him at 15 too. It is warm, but it never quite gets too hot for me, and I think that's probably one reason it does work. At 15 too, you do want to feel some booziness, I suppose. I want to feel some alcohol warmth. I don't want it to get where it's unpleasant, where that's all I notice. And for me, in this beer, this particular Goose Island, it doesn't. You do know it's there. The alcohol is present, but it doesn't overwhelm or take over the beer. So I'm going to give you one last note here. Well, much like they say here, intense aromas of charred oak, vanilla, caramel, and smoke. Sure, all that is there, but I'm going to add a few things. I think you get some dark chocolate notes. Oh, excuse me. Again, I feel like there's definitely some anise present, like smoke licorice notes. Let's say you get smoke licorice notes. Maybe a little molasses as well. Gosh, that is nice. You know what? I gotta tell you, I am going. When I had that 2015, I liked it at first. The more I drank it, I got hard to drink. This one's going the opposite direction for me. I wasn't sure at first. The more I drink this, the more I like it. The finish is nice and clean. It dries up. It starts out rather sweet. You do feel those vanilla, caramel notes. I almost said toffee, but it is more caramel than toffee. Very light dark chocolate shows it's has a presence in there. I don't know. As much as it pains me to say this, I think this is a well done beer, and it certainly is worth $12 a bottle. Would I pay the $20 and $25 this summer paying? Absolutely not. Even though I know what it tastes like now, would I pay more than $11.98? Honestly, I doubt it, but I would pay that same price again. So there you go. I am Tom the Beer Whisperer, beer evangelist, prolific beer drinker, pure beer wisdom, and all around good guy. Remember, folks, hey, life is serious. Beer shouldn't be, even if you spill an expensive beer like I just did.